coming right there.
Oh, hey guys, I'm here with Randy Rawhide Worst from Worst Case Scenario Survival Schools. You guys know Randy's awesome. You know, I personally think Randy is an American icon, not just a legend. Generation ahead of me in Special Forces. Literally, he's in several history books. He is just brutally honest in a lot of the things that come out of his mouth. The pearls of wisdom that I personally have gotten from this guy, I know have made me a better person. One of the videos that we put out real early here on Tactical Rifleman, if you go back through our video archive, you can find, I think we got 300 videos now. I did a video on how I lay out my gun belt, and then Jason did one of his, Z did one of his. Okay, well, Randy's a bit of a nutbag if you haven't figured that out yet. So why not have Randy come show us his gun belt? Now, I know you wear this because every Sunday, 2 p.m., you show up and I see you wearing this thing we're shooting. This is the same belt you're going to wear during Operation Valkyrie.
Yeah.
All right, where you want to start? Start with the belt itself.
Okay. The belt is padded. There's one of the things I got from these guys from A15 is a padded belt. I always thought that was, why did they do that? It's really comfortable and you can put it on over your jackets and everything. So it's padded. Okay. And then on the inside is your actual belt that you see here.
And you run the Cobra buckle.
Yeah.
All right. And I see you've got the extra D-ring, so if you had to do a safety line or a helicopter or expedient rappelling, something like that. Okay.
All right. So we'll start in the front. When I stand, there's a technique when I was in law enforcement. If you were close to somebody, you were going to have to draw your gun. You take and push your hand.
Yep.
Step and draw your gun,
Make
right?
space,
So what I do is
holster.
I keep my hand here, and this knife is here, so it draws first, and I come out when I do that. So what you're doing is you actually have a weapon he's got to react to, rather than pushing, because guys are good enough to grab your hand and then pull you in.
And if he's swinging at you with a knife or something, you've got something there, steel protecting your forearm.
Right.
Can we see that knife? That is a Kraken tactical.
Yes, it is. Now, Kraken.
He is an Australian knife maker. He makes nothing but custom knives. He's actually part of our Tactical Rifleman family. He's one of our patrons, and we're not just promoting his knives. We really love his stuff.
Yes, yes. It did an excellent job with this. You can break glass with it. It has your jimping up here with your fingers so you can guide it so you know where it is. It's a strong blade. It isn't going to break. I'm not trying to do any pounding in with it. It's going to last a lifetime for my grandsons and everybody else.
You guys, if you've seen my video, again, you can find it in Video Archive. That's where I keep my fixed blade knife. It actually sits like that. So if somebody's pinned down my rifle on my front, there's nothing that says that they can't also pin down my pistol. Think about this. Now, if I pull my pistol out and they grab the front of the pistol, they literally own as much of that firearm as I do. Okay, but if I pull that knife out, grab onto the blade of that knife, grab onto it, you understand you're going to lose that. So I 100% agree with that one. I'm completely good with it. All right.
One of the things you have to do is on the inside, you've got to take a hot iron, like a soldering iron, and put holes through the belt and then zip tie it on so it doesn't move, so the sheath doesn't move. So you got to do that.
Turn that a little bit more so they can see it on camera, guys. You see what Randy did right here was to keep the sheath from sliding back and forth. And he didn't buy some fancy sheath that has a fancy belt attachment that's sideways, because those are too bulky. What'd you use to melt the holes?
Soldering
iron. Use a soldering iron, and then he ran zip ties. Guys, I didn't even go that deep with it. I literally just ran my zip tie loops all the way around my inner belt, stitched it down. Randy's, yours a little more secure than mine?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now, these are for quick access on my magazines. On my vests, they're all closed. You'd have to open up.
Flaps over the top
right.
of them. Right?
If we were jumping or doing anything, I would switch these out to the ones that have the covers that come over the top.
You and me aren't jumping anymore, are
we? No, we're not. Well, I can't. All right.
That's speed reload for your pistol.
Right. And there's my tensions here. So these will fit 9mm and 45. I don't have to switch off.
Okay.
And 40. Now, next is my large knife. On both parts of my hands here and here. This one I was blocking, getting hit. I didn't think push broom handles were that hard. They're not like normal broom handles. Those things hurt like hell, and I was blocking it and caught it. So I still have a little bit of problem here from that.
All right.
This was a bar fight when I was a cop, and it was a pool cue.
Pool cue.
Yeah, and I caught that puppy before I get. So what I have is this knife for. This is made by Kraken, and this is my favorite. I helped them design it. So
That is the damn cowboy knife.
right now, this is the damn cowboy logo here. And then on the other side, I'm going to turn around, is Carl's logo.
Tactical Rifleman logo.
Tactical Rifleman
Sweet.
logo there, right? Now, we worked together on designing this. I want to just, it's on this belt so I can use it for fighting. But I can do survival. It's built so strong, I can take and pound on the back side here and split wood with it. I can split up to 6-inch pieces of wood with it with no problem. I can chop with it with no problem. I can also, the way this is designed here, I can take it, let's say I'm doing shaving wood for making logs, I'm going to stack stuff up. I can take it as a straight edge. Pull knife, that's it, and do it. So it has a lot of purposes. It's got the jimping here, so my thumb guides it. I have a protection thing there, so I can't, another blade coming up. But what I actually do with it, if something were to happen and you were trying to hit me like what happened, that's where this comes out.
Protects your whole forearm.
Protects my whole forearm, okay? And if you tried to grab me or do anything, now you got a knife that you got to deal with. And you can back use it, but really it's for this because I plan on pulling this out. I should have already got you with my carbine, so that means it's down. So that's what this is for. So I'm not taking any blows to my body anymore. That's mainly what this is going to be, and there's other things I can do with it, but that's the main thing that I have it for.
I look at that and I think, well, that's a big field survival knife and everything, but the term survival, literally, if you're in the middle of a gunfight, hand to hand, your rifle is shit to bed, and you're having to pull a blade, you are trying to survive legitimately, I guess. All right.
Yep. And
that is a big ass knife right there.
Red River Tactical holsters makes the knife sheaths for me.
Okay.
Now this is, because I got space for it, this is my handheld light. Now this is 1500 looms, I'm not going to turn it on. So because I have space on it, that's where I put it. So I got 1500 looms, so I don't have to rely on using my light on my pistol, my carbine. I can have it ready and use my other hand with a light.
You understand the importance of that, guys? Literally on my body armor, because you guys all know I'm big, I run a light on my pistol, run a light on my rifle, but on the right here on my body armor is a handheld flashlight. And because literally, once you've got sector secure, I'm just using the example of a hostage rescue unit or a direct action unit, once you've got sector secure, you still have to do sensitive site exploitation of the target. You've got all the non-combatants there. You still got to search everything basically, and you don't want to be flagging a pistol around. You get startled by some kid that just jumped out of a closet. You don't want to accidentally shoot him. That kid didn't deserve that. His parents don't deserve that. So having a handheld light, not against it at all. And what Randy's saying by having space, he's talking about he has space on the sheath. Randy straps stuff everywhere, literally. All right, okay, I'm good with that. Decent flashlight.
You'll find we have our magazines. I use dual pouches. We'll usually have a vessel. I have other magazines there, but this is my gun belt, set up the same way Carl's have. I think you have 2 magazines.
2 mags, yeah.
Always 2 mags.
And the reason why we run rifle mags on our belt, okay, a lot of people are like, well, why are you doing that? You know, legitimately, if a helicopter gets shot down, for example, when a helicopter hits the water, think the Gulf of Aden, all the sharks and everything. When it hits the water, it almost immediately flips upside down. Now, you and the other 20 Marines, assaulters, whatever it is, you're all trying to get out that square opening in the back of the helicopter. By the way, you're wearing a safety line where you hooked into the floor. Oh, by the way, now you're hanging from the ceiling upside down, and everybody's crawling over each other, and it's getting dark quick because that helicopter is sinking like a stone. So most of the time we ran cutaway body armor. If you cut your body armor away, a lot of times your sling will hold it also. So I have a quick release on my sling. All right, cool, but you still don't want to dump your rifle. All right, keep it, because that's your primary weapon. But you would for sure dump your body armor. That leaves you just what you have on your belt. So having a couple extra mags on your belt. You're going to the chow hall, you're going anywhere. You may not have your body armor on, but you're going to have your gun belt. So having a few extra mags for your primary weapon, you got to have at least one. I like two. Randy likes two.
Yeah,
right.
that actually happened in Kosovo because you couldn't go with your body armor and stuff in the chow hall.
Okay.
There was an incident, and only us Green Berets had ammo, and we had it on our belts.
On gun
So we're
belts.
the only ones that did. This is my drop pouch. I have several of them. Is ATS? That's it, right?
ATS, yeah.
It's where I get my gear from. He does an outstanding job, but I like this pouch because it zips closed.
That's not ATS though, is
No,
it?
it is not.
Okay.
They have one that they roll, but I like this one. But basically it does the same thing, but it just rolls up.
This one's made by, who's that say? Granite Gear?
Yeah.
Granite Gear, okay.
So
Roughly same size as the ATS one.
Right.
All right.
If we're changing mags and we still have ammo in it, I'm not going to try to put it back into one of these pouches. I'm just going to drop it here, and then later, when I'm not under fire, I can work with it.
On the range, guys, having a dump pouch, you put your pro timer in there, your bottle of water, whatever, half full mags. But the reality is, in the middle of a combat zone, middle of a operation, you know, combat is 30 days of boredom for 30 seconds of excitement, and you've got 50 other things that are going on. You always need a big pocket. So having that pouch mine rolls up, having it rolled up, you just quickly hit the Velcro, it undoes, Randy unzips his, it opens, and now you've got a pocket, big pocket, that you can put things, you know, Rolex watches, stuff like that. I'll tell you what, before we get into that, before we start moving, let's take a quick break so YouTube can show you guys one of those awesome advertisements. We'll see you back in a minute. Oh, hey guys, welcome back. All right, so we just wrapped up your dump pouch. That's a big ass med pouch, Randy.
Okay, I know, and it's heavy too, but remember I do survival stuff.
So
but
that's not just medical.
No, it's got my survival gear, but I did put, so you understand what it is.
You got this little ass half-inch by half-inch red square for me to see that under night vision goggles. Thank you, Randy. No, I got it. What's in it? You got to show me what's in this bag.
All right,
here.
so we'll open it up.
All right, so does it Velcro off?
Yeah, it does. It can come off.
You know why I like that, guys? I like that the medical kit Velcros off, so you're not trying to get things out of a pocket like this, you know, because understand one of your hands may already be applying direct pressure. By it being able to Velcro off, I can sit it right in front of me, right next to the patient, and it makes it a lot easier for me to treat somebody.
Or treat ourselves.
Or treat ourselves, self-aid. All right?
Because like it's not shown in movies, when we're in actual combat, we're under fire, we have to keep fighting, and if you're wounded, you have to take care of yourself until we've got the battle under control.
Self-aid, then buddy aid, and then medical.
Right. Okay, so I broke this into two parts. So this part here, starting here, is my survival portion. So here, like I had before, I have my headlamps.
No, you're going to have to open it up because they want to see it.
Lay
it out. I'm going to make you lay it out, dude. I'm going to make you lay the whole thing out.
Okay.
You should inspect all your gear every so often. I'm giving Randy the opportunity to inspect this stuff.
Little handheld light. Yep. Okay, that is my electric lighter.
You guys have seen them. They arc. It's a rechargeable lighter. They are awesome.
My marking light, so I can mark stuff with. That just happens to be a.
See how it lights up, guys? If you hit it again, it'll strobe. And what you use? Let's say you had a casualty. You want to mark anything that you don't want to leave on target. We would mark with lights. And basically anything with a red light goes out on the helicopter with us, whether it's a casualty, whether it's the aid bag, whether it's the Broco torch, the quickie saw, everything gets marked with lights to be pulled back off target.
Yep.
All right.
Now this and this both are UBS And there's the cable that goes to
All
it.
right, so this is a headlamp.
That's the headlamp, yep.
And that's the charging cable.
And it'll work for
so
both of them.
What he's saying is his arc lighter, his electric lighter, and his headlamp both run off of the rechargeable, run off of mini USB.
Now, off camera, and I don't want to have to go to it, is I brought it, my charger that I put in my pack.
Your little solar panel thing?
Right, my little solar panel.
All right.
Fingernail clippers because
it's fingernail clippers.
Right.
Okay.
You need to be able to take care of your fingernails, and then there's a lighter right there. So that's that part of that survival. The next portion comes up.
You love your zip ties.
Got to have zip ties. All right. You got little small ones. These little small ones here. They're just that big. You don't know what you're going to need and what you're not going to need. You can always put these together and make it longer.
Okay.
All right. So let's put that there. Now, this, because it fit there, that's one of my favorite.
The rat tourniquet.
Tourniquet, yep.
The original ones were called rat tourniquets. Modern ones, they call them a rapids tourniquet. They got a really bad rap right away, and that's because it's basically a long constricting band. And even if you wrap around, Randy's big thigh with it, you're not going to get it tight enough to stop a femoral bleeder. So that's why your TCCC committee, we basically the only ones that are approved, and there's a few other ones that are approved now, but basically the soft T wide that has a metal windlass and the Cat 7. I see Randy has a Cat 7 tourniquet here. Great tourniquets, especially for doing self-aid to treat yourself. One-handed, I'll always recommend the Cat 7 tourniquet. One-handed on yourself, self-aid, injured arm, Cat 7 tourniquet, the way to go. And that's why a lot of people don't like this. You can't get it tight enough. That said, a Cat 7 and a soft TY do not work well on small kids. They do not work well on canines. He's always got Sweet Pea with him, his lab. So, and sometimes you just need a constrictor band. So I have changed my personal opinion on the Rapids tourniquet. I'm now an advocate for them. Look at me here on the hill, guys. I don't have any friends. If I'm out walking around on my property, I have my dogs here. I also, I've got a 1-year-old baby on the hill now also. So anyways, it's a good tourniquet. I'm good with that, Randy.
One of the things that Carl does that I don't do yet, I'll have to order more. He puts it, runs it, attaches it to his belt and runs it down his leg.
Run it down your pant leg inside your pants. You can wear it to church, guys. You'll forget you even got it there. Forget you even got it.
Then there's my candle. Got to have my candle.
3 wicks on this one.
It's got 3 wicks. Remember, fire needs 3 things. It needs fuel, it needs oxygen, and it needs heat. With these 3 lit, I've got some serious heat being put on it.
I know. Where do you buy these candles? I appreciate you asking. Now, he doesn't. Randy saves every mint can, every shoe polish can he's ever had in his life. And we've actually got a video in our video archive on how Randy makes his survival candles. You can check it out and find it in our video archive. It's a nice, short, quaint, great little 5-hour video on how to make a candle.
This is just regular Swiss Army knife because there's a lot of different tools I might need.
Okay.
And I put this in because I had it and I didn't want to lose it. We're both airborne, and this is airborne knife. I don't know that they issue them anymore, but it's
they don't. Yeah, they're for the they call it a rigger knife or the Jumpmaster knife, and that was so you could one-handed cut static lines and stuff like that.
Yep.
Hook knife on it also.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's on the survival side. I just needed to put it somewhere where I could use it. I didn't.
You just wanted to carry one more knife,
yeah.
Randy. All right, hold on, because we're at 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 7 on your body, so we're at 11 knives right now. All right, okay. Oh, you forgot something. What's this one here?
Oh, that's just to tell you what
okay.
this is.
All right,
so
okay.
if someone else grabs it, they got
They
instructions.
get the instructions. All right.
Okay, this is my SWAT T life-saving first aid device.
This is another tourniquet. It's called the SWAT T. Basically, all it is, guys, you can see the width of it. That is nothing but a sheet of basically tire inner tube. That's how some of the original ones were made. You open it up and it's got little markings on it. You stretch it tight enough, the shapes change. They're okay, but again, this tourniquet is not approved by the TCCC committee because you can't really get it tight enough for a young Marine who's been shot wearing body armor for him to get it tight enough around that big muscular thigh, right? Okay, but it is still a very, very good compression bandage, a very, very good constricting band. It's got 100 other uses. I don't personally carry them, but again, and the only reason why I'm touching on this, so like I just said, I don't carry it. But at the same time, just because somebody said, oh no, you never use that, I don't want you to just shut your mind off to things. Look at things like this and figure out how do they work, what makes it correct and what makes it incorrect to these other people. And then you weigh the pros and cons, and what you may find is your situation may be different than this. I'm not surrounded by 20, 21-year-old Marines that all have first aid kits on them, right? So you may like something like this, all right?
One of the reasons I have that is for this, for my chest, so I can wrap that around and keep that in place.
In case these don't stick.
Right.
All right.
So that's one of the reasons I have that.
He's got a set here. This is actually a 2-pack of hyphen chest seals. Basically what it is it's an occlusive dressing. This one should be vented, right? The hyphen vent. You got a through and through gunshot wound, or even just a one-sided gunshot wound. Could be a stabbing of a knife. It could be a guy getting impaled on a piece of rebar. You want to keep air from going in. Have the guy breathe out as much as he can. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. And then cover it. And it's designed to be occlusive. In other words, air won't get through it. Now, we started adding vents to these things because Afghanistan, you fly the helicopter up over the mountain, gases expand. Gases would expand, you've closed off the hole. Now it actually starts pressing that collapsed lung up against the heart, pushing it against the other lung. You start causing more problems. So then we started doing needle decompressions of a tension pneumothorax. It's not really needed. Use vented chest seals and don't fly your medevac helicopters over mountains and you'll be just fine. These are the same ones that I carry in our Tactical Rifleman EDC kits. Good seals, all right?
All right, there's my...
Cat 7, Cat 7's good tourniquet. Why don't you keep this inside your med pouch? You don't keep it on the outside.
Because I have all the other gear. I know most of the guys have it where they can get to it, but with me being able to rip this off there, I can still get to it. So that's why I do that.
And that's Randy, all right? I'm not going to tell you how to do your stuff, but me personally, I want you guys to be able to grab your tourniquet. I understand if you're needing to put it on yourself, you're obviously injured. It may be your arm that's injured. Put your hand on your wallet. Put your other hand on your wallet. See how it's very hard to reach?
Yeah.
So I want that tourniquet to be somewhere where you can get to it with either hand quickly. And what I hate, Randy, is I'll see guys on the range with a tourniquet and it'll still be inside the wrapper.
Oh.
Right, because now you're adding a couple extra steps. Try taking it out of the wrapper with just one hand. So you're right, you can get to it one-handed, but you're having to undo a fast-stick buckle, undo a zipper.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting? Those are precious seconds. So I'm gonna make Randy a better person just like he makes me a better person. All right, keep going.
All right. I have a bunch. I don't know why this isn't the space pen. That needs to be a space pen. So there's a
it's
pen
a Glock
there.
pen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, pen's a pen. I understand.
Okay. There is those really thick gloves.
Nitrile gloves. Yep.
Then inside is more of the hand sanitizer.
He tapes the lid shut.
Yes.
Hand sanitizer, guys. Why? Because you need to be able to sterilize things. Yes. It's also great for starting fire. You actually got one of my EDC med kits.
Yes, I do.
All right. We sell our Tactical Rifleman EDC med kits. You'll notice it has a set of hyphen vented seals. Literally, that same set is right here. So you're actually carrying two sets. It's got a 100-inch roll of duct tape because I like duct tape better than medical tape. Some people don't. It has got a compression dressing in it, and I give you this an advanced one. EDC carry. So, all right. So he's actually got quick clot gauze inside of this one also. All right. So The reason why I do these med kits is they are vacuum sealed, and literally you can put them in your kid's book bag. You can put it in your carry-on bag on an airplane and nobody's gonna mess with it at all. But I made it vacuum sealed because I found my military IFAK kits under the seats in my Jeep were all just rotted and moldy from all the swamp water that I drive through. So that's a good kit because our gun belts get wet.
Yep.
That's going to get wet, Operation Valkyrie. All right, before you get to the rest, we're going to take another quick break for YouTube so they can hit you with a commercial. I'm going to let you pack this stuff up while I watch this commercial with them. You don't mind.
Okay.
I like
Nope.
some of these commercials, dude. I really will. I'll see you back in a minute. All right, guys, welcome back. We just did Randy's med kit / survival kit / wall locker. He had a lot of stuff in that, dude. All right, and that brings us to yet another knife. So that's 11. This is 12. Okay.
All right, this is cold steel.
Pull it out. We got to show it to him.
This is one of my favorite. This is a knife I use for sticking. I'm not going to get into what exactly that means, but it's not a slashing, cutting for me. This is made for poking and stabbing, okay? So,
let me see this thing. You guys, you can't appreciate it through the camera how insanely sharp this knife is. Even the false edge is stupid sharp.
Yeah,
I mean, stupid
sorry.
sharp. This thing, guys, you could...
yeah.
Not that you shave with it, you just think about it and the hair just falls right off. That's crazy, Randy. That is a sharp knife right there.
So, if this should go down or it gets knocked out of my hand or runs out of ammo, remember, then I have got a knife that I can use with one hand, a knife I can use for the other, right? And the blade's long enough that it can get to parts of the body that need to have
Vital
damage
organs,
done.
yep.
That's why I have that one.
I see you run a Safariland holster.
Yep.
Okay, what kind of pistol you run?
Well, this one actually will hold 3 different pistols. If you notice that I write them on there. So the CZ 9745, it'll do the SIG 45, and it'll do my CZ P09 and my P01.
Okay, cool.
So 4 guns that'll work
Now,
off that
you guys
one.
notice he's got it set up with the hook on the back. What I'm talking about is, I don't remember the name of it, but it actually allows us, because Randy's an instructor just like I am, it allows us to swap out our holsters to whatever firearm we're going to be using. Now, I don't recommend you master 10 firearms. I want you to master one and stay with that firearm. But as an instructor, if the clients show up shooting Glocks, you've got to shoot Glocks with them. If they show up shooting SIGs, you've got to shoot SIGs with them. So this is for your CZ.
CZ,
okay.
and also it'll do
One
SIG.
of your SIGs. Okay. Yep. All right. We swear by Safariland holsters, and we always run gun lights. Okay. And lo and behold,
Now this is
another knife.
But it's a multi-tool. Okay, it's a multi-tool. It's done by Gerber. One of the reasons that I have that is because
The bit set.
right, it has a bit set, so it has a lot of different tools that I can use. How do you know what's going to happen or what you're going to have to do?
Especially on the gun range, you
Right.
have guys that break kit,
So
holsters get too loose.
It gives me an opportunity to use different things. I'm not going to lock these back out, but I can get to things like my screwdriver. I can get to it with my knife without having to open anything up. And then, of course, you have got to get your, press straight forward on this one. I forgot. You don't have to open it up. You just press straight forward and there. And one of the things that you want to be careful on, this one's a little bit off, it does catch it, is you look through the light and make sure that touches so you can grab small things.
Okay.
So that's why I have that, so it gives me multiple tools for working on the range. That's why I exactly have that.
I'll buy that.
And then it's got a little pouch
Little pocket
for that.
for the bits, and then that one goes in the back. Okay. That's 12 knives, you freaking nutbag. And,
All right.
oh, what do we have here, Randy?
All right, now this is my CRKT. This is it's called the Dragon, but I call it the Dragon's Tooth. And this was what I first had. So if you when I went into a room entry, the way I carry my weapon, the guy grabbed my barrel, okay? I realized I was in trouble because they were attached to us. So what I did was we're taught to take people down, so I took him down to the ground. I didn't have this knife at the time. If my number 3 guy that came in hadn't kicked him in the head, I'd still be fighting on the ground with him.
Okay.
So I put this knife at that time on, so what I'm gonna do is put that in his ear and stop the fight.
Okay.
Right?
And that is quite an ice pick right there,
Yep.
too. Look at that thing. Look at the point on that son of a gun.
Yeah.
Again, another razor sharp knife. I'm going to hurt myself with this thing. All right, Randy, and then I see you do run a one leg strap.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want this moving around
Yeah,
on me.
I understand.
So I do the leg strap on her.
All right, and we actually get that. We got that question last night on a live stream. We used to run lower leg holsters with 2 leg straps on them. The problem with that is if the helicopter lands 5 miles away and you're tiptoeing up the bad guys, you're basically doing a 5-mile road march with that holster rubbing a hole in your leg. So a lot of guys will run one strap with the holster a little higher. I don't run a leg strap on my holster at all. But again, personal preference, and everybody's entitled to that. Randy, you have 100% confirmed to me that you are indeed a nutbag. You understand, brother, this is 13 knives. 13 knives on you right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. You guys know, I know you've got questions, and yeah, you know the